kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you. Don't...
From the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, this is ESBN. Folks, the Ghost Cup Racing League on ESBN tonight takes on the Nashville Fairgrounds in the ARCA cars. We welcome you here inside the broadcast booth, and I'm Dave Riegel alongside Mike DeMoney. And Mike, we are getting ready to see some really interesting stuff here in the All-Star race as it is being billed as a demolition derby. And I'll tell you what, it seems like things are going to be different from anything that either you or I have seen in recent history.
Yeah, these guys are usually not out there causing cautions, but tonight they don't have to worry about that. It's a demo derby. 100 laps, see who can get there the fastest. We have, looks like we had a few late entries here, so looks like we got a pretty decent sized field, so it should be something interesting to see.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, we do see a couple of familiar names to those of us here at ESBN and Sim Racing Media. Jonathan Leach, of course, as well as Mr. Michael Corriveau and, of course, Cliff Corriveau, who's kind of one of our gurus over at Sim Racing Media. So glad to see them out in the field tonight. Jonathan, of course, the big boss. And, you know, I'll tell you what, Mike, the last time you and I worked together, we were doing that fundraiser race for Brian Tarnowski. And listen, we had a blast that night, and I'm pretty sure we're going to have a blast tonight.
I definitely agree, but hopefully this one doesn't last quite that long.
No, in fact, I had done a fundraising race a couple of weeks ago that was supposed to be 45 minutes. It turned into 3 hours. So, folks, settle in and grab some popcorn, call a friend, because we are going to be green flag racing here in a little bit as qualifying is underway. There's 10 minutes of qualifying. We're about 4 minutes through that. And right now, Christopher Tate looks like he is sitting atop the leaderboard, taking a look at Wally Babb in the number 99 as he swings out here for his second lap, crosses the start-finish line. First lap nets him P4 on the leaderboard, and looks like he's getting even faster here this time around. Wally Babb definitely able to roll that corner.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see these guys driving these ARCA cars. They probably haven't driven them in quite a while, but they're out there learning this track and car all at the same time. But I don't know that you want to be out front, seeing as how this is a demo derby.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, the ARCA cars are a blast to drive. I mean, you know, I got to be honest, when the A and the B series or the C series in iRacing are at a track that I am notoriously horrific at, which, by the way, is most of them, I usually find great comfort in racing the ARCA cars. They're a lot of fun. They've got a lot of horsepower under the hood. You know, they take a real big amount of skill. And right now, atop the leaderboard, looks like, speaking of skill, Christopher Tate leading the way here in the Ghost Cup Series, followed by Greg Wood Jr., Kyle Getterer, Wally Babb, Chris Wheeler, your top five. And right now, I want to take a look here and see if we can get a hold of, let's see if we can get a hold of Cliff. Hey, Cliff, it's Dave Riegel up in the broadcast booth with Mike DeMoney. You got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, you would.
Hey, man, listen, demo derby kind of style race tonight. How are you feeling about getting through all these laps?
I don't think that's going to be possible, sir.
Now, Chris, tell us, are we getting to lap 100? Is that the goal lap here?
Yeah, 10-4, first one to 100 wins.
Awesome, man. All right, well, listen, we'll send you back there, but you know, we wanted to find some of the more familiar names, as Mike and I are the new guys on the block here. So, good luck tonight. Try to do your best to keep out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do the opposite. I'm going to try to stay in trouble.
Well, I mean, I get it. I do. Listen, just crank that machine up and get it moving.
10-4. Thanks, fellas.
Well, folks, right now taking a look at the number 8 car. Of course, that 8 is actually Dalton McKinney, who on iRacing timing and scoring is going to be the number 39. But, you know, here at Nashville Fairgrounds, of course, right now it is kind of dwarfed by the Nashville Super Speedway, as that's the big exciting thing. And, Mike, I believe you were just working on trying to get a hold of Mr. Jonathan Leach.
I did, and he was able to come down here and talk to us for a little bit.
So, Jonathan,
Hey,
tell us
John.
about the format here tonight.
I should really know it, but I just kind of showed up today, to be honest. I believe we're supposed to be able to pretty much ram anybody that you like. In other words, it seems like my team's theory is going to be anything that's in front of us is fair game, whether it's each other, our friends, our other co-racers, and obviously the leader.
Absolutely. And I mean, Mike and I were talking off air just before we came on the air about this is something that neither of us has ever really gotten a chance to do. And the last time that Mike and I worked together was for a fundraiser race about a month ago. So we're kind of excited to be working together and, of course, also see something different. Wow, as Ryan Facinato gets it all wrong coming out of turn 4.
I tell you what, I think you're going to see a lot of, obviously, the whole point of today's race is going to be to tear all these race cars up, but I think you're going to see a lot of spins out of the corners that weren't intentional. I ran a couple laps. I didn't really practice because the whole point of this is to be a mess, but we all know how loose these ARCA cars are coming out of the corner, and that's going to be a huge problem for this derby. We're going to call it a derby. There's an old Destruction Derby video game. Dave, you might have known about that. Mike, maybe you too when we were all kids. But that's how I feel like this is going to go.
Well, man, listen, it sounds like it's going to be exciting. I mean, looks like we've got about a minute left in qualifying, and looks like you got yourself P11 out there as Ryan Facinato still trying to lay a lap down. He does not seem to be having a good night getting around the racetrack. So, obviously, you were able to lay down your 2 qualifying laps, so you're way ahead of this gentleman.
Oh man, I'm not even using my broadcast kind of attitude or voice right now. Yeah, so 23.448, real quick. Pretty sure I spun once for that and then crossed the line somehow and still did a 23. I'm not trying to say I'm fast because I'm not fast, but it should be a lot of fun. I think a lot of the guys behind us, Cliff being one of them, is just trying to smash everybody in front of him. So.
All right, John. Well, listen, we'll cut you loose as it looks like you guys are getting ready to grid down there. We appreciate your time and appreciate you coming to hang out with us.
Yeah, have fun. It's going to be a mess. Enjoy the show. Try not to get too bored.
All right, thanks, John.
I don't think Mike and I
see
have the capability of being bored.
No, you don't. I'll see you, boys. Have a good time.
All right,
All
Mike.
right, that
well,
was Jonathan.
go ahead and get us set up here for our starting grid.
Well, our starting grid here, we've got Christopher Tate taking the pole, Greg Wood Jr., Kyle Gardier, Wally Babb, Chris Wheeler, Michael Corvu, and then Chris Hupka in 7th, Jeffrey Vickery in 8th, Christian Ruse in 9th, and Dalton McKinney in 10th.
On the inside of row number 6, Jonathan Leach in the number 86. Brock Whitehead on the outside. Row number 7 is Daniel Miglin and Charles Whitehead. Row number 8, Ricky Gonzalez and Cliff Corriveau in row number 8. And bringing up the rear in 17th position, right now the last man standing at the rear is Rylan Facinato. And I have to say, that is definitely a unique last name. I'm going with definitely Italian.
Yeah, maybe he has some of that speed that they have in open wheels.
That's very true. But it's not a Ferrari.
Definitely not.
Well, folks, we are glad to have you here as the iRacing.com pace car has dove down pit road. Reach way up there, pull those belts tight. We are green flag racing at Nashville Fairgrounds as Christopher Tate takes off, and he is about to be chased down like a dog over lunch with Greg Wood Jr. right behind him. Christian Lewis has now crashed as these cars have gotten all wound up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get these cars, cold tires, and everybody trying to basically get away from everybody. Definitely going to see some spins like John was saying without anybody touching them, as you just saw getting a little bit in front of the pack there.
Oh, you see right here. Wow. Charles Whitehead catching the wall. I'll tell you what, these cars are going everywhere. The 49 of Kyle Gattner is starting to go, wow, oh my. This is definitely, thank goodness I have the focus on crashes selected here tonight, Mike.
Definitely. I just saw the 28 of Charles Whitehead just come sliding through the center there.
82's just spinning around helplessly like a fish. Now the 13 is put into the wall.
Yeah, it looked like the 6 just gave him a little bump, put it in the wall. You see the 31 there riding along the side. Definitely going to be an interesting race to see who can get to lap 100. I mean, we're through 5, but I imagine this disaster is going to pick up pretty quick.
Listen, folks, I'm not trying to be that guy, but let's take a look here at the 31 car, driven by Brock Whitehead, and we're going to get a good look here at this piece. Do you see that? Let me see if I can get the front camera here. Do you see that wheel, Mike? It's not supposed to go that way.
Definitely not.
I mean, I'm no expert. I'm guessing not.
No, he has no steering. He was up in the wall grinding that out, and there's a huge crash in front of him there.
So I gotta start to wonder what's going on up here with Christopher Tate. Oh, Christopher Tate just got lifted. Folks, we have to look back at that one. My God, watch this. It's like a wedge.
Yeah, see him coming out of the corner, setting that up, getting right on his back bumper.
Christopher Tate here chasing down Jeffrey Vickery, chasing down Christopher Tate, just wedges that number 40 Sterling Marlin throwback scheme right out of the way. It's just a wedge, wham. So that is the very definition of wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. As that moves Christopher Tate in the number 54 up here to P1. Of course, 54 in iRacing timing and scoring, but 40 on his paint scheme. We're going to take a look here. Chris,
kind of the way that works.
At Cliff Corriveau, who is also about to get himself pasted as he is trying to make his way back to pit road. Wow, and the 82 just pirouetted around the 40.
Greg Wood got right in the back of him again. Comes down in front of Dan Miglin, gets hit again. I mean, Christopher Tate just got ran over there. But look at the leaderboard here, though. Remember the guy we talked about who was in last?
And now he's
Ryland?
first.
He's up in.
Well, no, he's second.
He's up in second right now.
How did he get there? Can we ask? Oh my God, he's got the lead now, but just got it taken away from him.
Man.
Folks, if you're just tuning in on YouTube or Facebook, if you're watching us on YouTube, you are watching ESBN. I'm Dave Regal alongside Mike DeMonet. That's DeMonet if you're a big fan of course, History of the World Part 1, directed by Mel Brooks. But you are watching the Ghost Cup Series tonight, and this is a demolition derby. It's intentional. People's feelings are not being hurt as cars are being used as weapons tonight, Mike.
Definitely. I mean, if you want to settle the score and you have the guy out there, you can definitely do that with no repercussions tonight.
Absolutely. And if you are watching us on YouTube.com, make sure that you subscribe and turn on those bell notifications as the ATC Family Fun Show, we need to ask, apparently they want to know if you're here, Mike, or maybe
Mike or both.
Looks like you're really famous, pal.
I don't know. We've been broadcasting lots of leagues, lots of races every week, so never know. Hey, look who's up in the lead now.
Jonathan Leach, of course, the leader of Sim Racing Media and ESBN, out here in the number 86 machine. Look at that beautiful paint scheme. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that turned out to be a Cliff Corvo paint scheme.
No, that would not surprise me at all.
Also, folks, while you're subscribing to us on YouTube.com, make sure that you turn on those bell notifications and get a heads up every time we are live on Sim Racing Media or ESBN. Check out our podcast, too. Now, this week, the podcast is going to be a little screwy as we were unable to record yesterday due to staffing shortages in certain broadcasts. So, Tony Trapasso and myself not able to record the podcast as per usual yesterday. But we are a big team here. And, you know, quite frankly, you know, next man up. We just had something that had to get done. So Jonathan Leach leading this piece right now in the Ghost Cup Series. Demolition Derby at Nashville Fairgrounds. Welcome in, folks. Glad to have you with Mike DeMoney and myself, Dave Regal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see these guys driving all over the place, car inside a car there. As Jonathan Leach gets ran into the wall there.
And folks, one of the things that you're going to start seeing here is a lot of net code, as there is so much net code flying all over this racetrack that with 21 laps complete of 100, basically there's a whole bunch of net code flying all over the track, wrecking cars and making them, you know, some stick into others. Oh, there goes the 54, the 40. And it looks like Jonathan Leach is able to... Oh, no, look at that car. Oh, my. He has to be very uncomfortable right now.
Driving around with three wheels, I mean, I guess that works.
Taking a look here at Dalton McKenney in that Dale Jr. throwback car, the Oreo Ritz machine. I'll tell you what, I kind of miss that. I miss those days. And I mean, here at Nashville Fairgrounds, that's kind of what we always harken back to yesteryear in NASCAR.
Wow. We're through 24 laps. We've got 75 more to go.
And you know what? With 25 laps in, I'm kind of hesitant to do it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Let's run through the field real quick as things have... This is not a salad bowl. This is more like a melting pot from hell. As Rylan Facinato is currently your race leader, driving the number 69. Then... Dalton McKenney driving the number 30. Oh, wow! Dalton McKenney, Ryan Facinato getting into it here with the number 31 car driven by Brock Whitehead, as it's going to take them a few minutes to get all sorted out as Chris Hubka. And, somebody's calling on the radio that they're blown up. So do you know if they have any kind of fast repair or something?
I believe they're unlimited fast repairs from what I saw. Unlimited fast repairs, no incident limit. So as long as they can make it back to the pits, they can get it hooked up and ready to go.
Well, right now it looks like Chris Hubkin trying to get that number 5 M&M's machine. Wow! I'll tell you what. This is definitely must-see TV tonight, and I'm glad to be part of it here with you on YouTube.com, Sim Racing Media over on Facebook.com. Make sure that you're following Sim Racing Media over here on Facebook. Check us out. Make sure that you have your notifications turned on. And it looks like here on lap number 20, where are we supposed to be? Lap number 28?
Yeah.
We are under caution, which is going to give some of these drivers something to get down on the pit road for. And while we
just decided to throw that, so
while we do that, we are going to make sure that we pay some bills here, and we will go side by side and hear from our good friends over at the Jones Racing Setups, and of course, Sim Racing Media and ESBN.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
welcome back, everybody. Looks like somebody has completed 35 laps here in this demolition derby of the Ghost Cup Series. I am Mike Maloney, and joining me for this one-time event for now anyway is Dave Riegel. Dave, how's it going over there?
Well, here in the production truck, my fingers are about to burn off as I'm trying to keep up with all the crashes that we're seeing out here. Wow! Just as we have the number 82 of Michael Corvo getting bit again here out of turn 2. You know, I have to say, Mike, this demolition derby format is interesting, especially when, this is a non-points race for these drivers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a kind of a good way to break up this this league between the regular season and the playoffs that are starting next week.
Yeah, and here's the thing. A lot of times, including a league that, one of the leagues that I know that we do here on Sim Racing Media, I think a lot of pressure gets put on the All-Star race, but it's a non-points race, and it should be something fun. And Ghost Cup Series has definitely found a way to keep it fun here on a Wednesday night. in the middle of April, as right now your race leader, Rylan Facinato, working his way around the track, and he must have used his fast repair because he has definitely decided suddenly to set sail and stay away from Dalton McKinney, who is 2.6 seconds behind him now.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this this format. If you're the leader, you want to stay far enough ahead of the guy in second, but you don't want to catch that last place guy either, because he can put you in the wall as well.
Absolutely. I mean, looking here from the spectator stand, you know, some really great camera shots that iRacing.com is able to give us. It seems like now the number 40 car driven by Christopher Tate coming down pit road. Not sure if he's coming to get repairs done or if this is just going to be gas and go. Oh, that's repairs.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's getting a couple repairs anyway. Yeah, I thought they, I was pretty sure they had fast repairs, so I don't know why they're sitting in the pit so long there. But I guess maybe he was speeding or something.
Yeah, that could have been. As what the 31 car gets it all wrong, driven by Brock Whitehead, as he is now stranded out on the backstretch trying to get back underway. Rylan Facinato in the number 69 Snap-on Chevrolet. Whoa! As that was dangerous. As we see him chasing down the number 4 car driven by Daniel Miglin. So looks like...
And Daniel Miglin's a lap down, so...
This is something that you don't often see, especially when it's trying to show at this point that there are only 2 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, especially in a race like this, you imagine there's going to be a lot more people trying to attack that leader. But that 39 of Dalton McKinney is just, well, I guess the 8 on the track is just staying away from people at the moment.
Well, right now, looking at a little pack of cars, if I was the 99 and in a situation like this, maybe just come up and whack the side of the 8 car. I mean, since you're there anyway.
I mean, that's kind of what the premise of this race is take the leader out. 49 just stops almost right in front of him.
Well, see now, folks, in iRacing vernacular, there's something called ARCA braking. And, you know, tonight, it's almost like ARCA braking is accepted and, in fact, encouraged. ARCA braking, of course, is when you don't brake, period.
Well, there you saw the 82 of Michael Carview get after somebody there on that corner there. It looked like it was probably John Leach there.
Yes, where is John Leach? My goodness, he was up front. Oh, there he is. Actually, John Leach is sitting in the pits. Probably not very happy. But, I mean, you know what? I shouldn't even say that. You got to be kind of happy, though.
Yeah, you're out here having fun. I mean, you got all these guys you run with week in and week out, and it's there you see the 31 of Brock Whitehead just take out the leader, and now Rylan Facinato is back up front again.
You know, to be completely honest, at this stage in the game, if I was Brock Whitehead, I'd think that Chevrolet was a snow plow made by GM Goodwrench. Anybody in my way would be at risk.
Now look at all these guys without the front clips on and up into the wall.
Into the wall goes the 84. I'll tell you what, this is getting...
Man, these guys are just...
Look at him.
Now they're
He's
just running
driving
around
in
in
reverse.
circles.
He's going in reverse. Why not? Let's hop in his pit box. If he is going to enter pit...
Get stuck on the wall going backwards.
That's one way to do it. Oh, there he goes. Finally got it back around. Folks, we're going to take a quick look at that one from the cockpit. By the way, I don't think I've ever seen SDK have the stroke that it's having right now.
Yeah, trying to keep up with where everybody is.
So we're riding along with Daniel Miglin, driver of the number 4 car. He crosses the start-finish line and goes into turns 1 and 2. Just as he comes through here, the car starts fighting back in kind of an unnatural way. He gets onto the backstretch, and there's a wreck, of course, in front of him involving the number 54 that's also the 40. He plows into the 21 of Jeffrey Vickery and gets himself turned around. So rather than just, get straightened out and go left, he is going to back down onto pit lane, and we can even see that here from the rear. He's going in reverse.
Yep. Look at all the smoke. Oh, looks like he just ran into the back of Ryland there. Looks like Ryland's going backwards to try and get to pit road there.
Well, I mean, that's one way to get there, and we've gotten past the halfway mark.
And there goes Leach backwards into the pit box as well.
Well, it says that you have to be in. It doesn't say which direction you have to be facing, as we are on lap number 54 of 100 from Nashville Fairgrounds. And right now, still just 2 cars left on the lead lap in Greg Wood Jr., and now Dalton McKinney takes over as your leader. I can only assume that this was probably a violent transition of power here as we see these cars fighting their way through here.
Yeah, that's the other thing when you're sitting there watching these guys. Not only are these cars like naturally slick, but they're not trying to brake. So you get a little loose and hit a car, you're going to go spinning.
Well, and that's absolutely true. And I mean, these drivers usually would have a pretty good hand on what the ARCA cars are all about. But tonight, it's not about having good hands. It's just about having patience to get to the end.
Yeah, I mean, we're about 57 laps. Dalton McKinney's almost a lap and a half ahead right now. So we'll see if somebody jumps up and decides to tag him and kind of bring him back to the rest of the field.
Absolutely. At this point, I'm surprised that there's even anything called a lead lap. Yeah.
I mean, these guys are all over the place. They're definitely out there having fun. I mean, not every day you get to drive the ARCA car, and B, where the points don't really matter. It's intentional to wreck people. That's
So
the
it's
28
kind
sitting
of
here
like-
sideways.
Yeah. I guess he's just going to be a roadblock. Oh, yeah, he's spinning his tires all right.
He can't go anywhere.
Wow. So it's kind of like whose line is it anyway? The show about nothing because the points don't matter and nobody cares.
Exactly. Wow, I wonder how he's driving like that with his back wheel up in the air.
Yeah, I'd say the number 6 car here, driven by Chris Wheeler. Of course, I'm assuming no relation to the great Chris Wheeler from the Philadelphia Phillies. Got himself into 8th position right now, but down just about 11 laps as we speak. Wow, what a mess here.
And there goes
On
everybody.
the front.
Everybody out of pit road just decided to spin around.
I'm going to take a look back here and see how that all transpired, as it looks like the 28 was sent up by the 1 and then gets nosed into the wall. And then, of course, the 28, that was neck code there, folks, as the 28, of course, drove through the other 28. I believe that's the 82 and the 28.
82 and 28, yep.
Well, from here in the blimp, it's a little confusing. But looks like the 82 is going to hang on there yet.
I can't believe we're almost through 63 laps.
Well, time flies when you're having fun here, as we are now 64 laps. And, folks, if you are just tuning in on YouTube.com, feel free to subscribe and turn on those bell notifications so that you can get alerted every time we go live on Sim Racing Media. and ESBN. Of course, if you are watching over on Facebook, we are absolutely glad to have you in. Wherever you may be listening and wherever you are, we are glad to have you with us tonight with myself, Dave Regal, and my partner in crime for the evening, Mike DeMoney.
Definitely. When I got asked about doing this, I'm like, oh, it sounds like a little bit of fun, but this has been insane. I mean, everybody's crashing everywhere. I figured it'd be, a couple hours, but before we got to 100 laps, the way, these guys drive with precision and stuff, but hasn't been too bad. I mean, we're already through 66 laps, and they're pretty much crashing everywhere anyway.
Well, and you know what? It's always, not having cautions does keep things a little fresher. Plus, we're at a very small track here at Nashville Fairgrounds, and now this is something that seems to have gotten a little bit more attention over the last couple of years. Of course, being featured by Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the Dale Jr. Download, and Lost Speedways, things like that. I mean, I think that this is an exciting place to be watching a race from, even if it is
Definitely.
a demolition derby.
Definitely. I can't wait till we might see some other races here. We keep...
we are under
Leaks.
caution on lap
Oh.
number 68. Oh, wow! They're wrecking at the start-finish line as they're waiting for the iRacing.com pace car. Can you imagine what the iRacing algorithm is doing right now, trying to place everyone?
Oh, it has got to be lost. Like, how many guys are getting the wave around, and...
Did he come into pit? Did he not come into pit? Oh, look,
Yeah,
the pace car lights are off. Let's get ready for more. This racetrack, just to put it into perspective for you folks, as this weekend, of course, NASCAR will be at Talladega Super Speedway over in Alabama, suburban Birmingham, if you will. And next weekend, we will be at Dover. So, Talladega Super Speedway, of course, 2.66 miles around that piece there. But Dover, 1 mile even. So, the Nashville Super Speedway, of course, is 0.959 kilometers, but just under 0.6 of a mile. So these drivers are going to have to be going through some real adjustments over the next week, as I'm sure that they're getting ready to go back to intermediate tracks.
They definitely are. They're supposed to be next week. They're at Kentucky next week in the first round of the playoffs. So, going from driving the ARCA car to driving the Cup car at Kentucky. Let's see. Looks like Dalton McKinney's down on pit road. Daniel Niglin's going to take over the lead.
Why even bother? I mean, ride it out. Just ride it out.
Well,
So-
the funny thing is, Dalton McKinney still has the lead.
So one thing that I've been keeping an eye on here is a little bit about the track history of Nashville Super Speedway. Why is that camera not moving? There we go.
There's a whole wreck there.
Oh my! Right here before the start-finish line. So originally, this track first featured horseless carriages and motorcycles on June 11th, 1904. On a 1 1/8 mile dirt oval. So, here's the interesting thing. I think it was like a combination race, as the races were canceled after a motorcycle ran into the back of a car that was lining up. So, it sounds like at one time you could race cars with 4 wheels and motorcycles with 2 wheels at the same time on the same track.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like in iRacing when we do those mixed class races where you might have the car tomorrow racing against an ARCA car, racing against a truck, racing against a next-gen car. One of the most notable groups of drivers down here, of course, was the Alabama gang, and the Alabama gang, of course, featured Bobby Allison and, Red Farmer, Donnie Allison. And, folks, if you ever get a chance, I'm not trying to plug their podcast too hard, but I'm gonna anyway. Check out the Red Farmer interview on the Dale Jr. download over on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartMedia, whatever. Red Farmer, what an interesting person he is. Do you know any of his story, Mike?
A little bit.
He
I know he's been around for quite a while.
He has definitely been around for quite a while, but had really cut his teeth with the Alabama gang. And at this point, of course, he doesn't really race much anymore. I know that he's gotten in the car a couple of times, and he was kind of talking about it. There was a guy in the K&N West series that we had seen at one point that was, like, in his mid to upper 70s, still racing in the K&N series out west.
Yeah, I know Red Farmer was, last I heard anyway, he was racing back in, 2004 or so.
Right, absolutely. And my goodness, I'll tell you what, this is turning into a complete mess for me. I can't even keep track of where... Wow! Well, one car just got lifted up. Listen, I hope he doesn't have a motion ring at home, because if he did, he just put his head into the screen.
Yeah, when you hear Demo Derby, definitely take off that VR headset.
Oh my. Or at least if you're not going to take it off, make sure that you have one of those half-moon puke trays that they give you at the hospital nearby at all times.
Yeah, Dalton McKinney is still leading, and he's through almost 79 laps, so we're getting close to the end.
Absolutely.
Or to more carnage, I mean.
Yeah, this is probably going to be 21 laps of pure carnage. Folks, we're going to step aside and pay some bills. You are watching Sim Racing Media and ESBN.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, they're wrecking! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the left coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the second round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ghost Cup All-Star Race Demo Derby. As you're noticing here, there's plenty of crashes. Focus on our leader right now, Greg Wood. I'm up in the booth. Mike Damoni, and the man on the ones and twos is Dave Regal. Dave, what do you think so far?
You know, I got to be honest with you. I don't know what to think. I'm actually glad that I made sure to open up a fresh can of beer before this race because it's definitely not a thinking man's game tonight. We're not really worried about pit strategy. We're not really worried about fuel strategy. We're not really worried about much except for survival. You know, at this point, there's nothing but torches here on Survivor Island that just happens to be at the Nashville Fairgrounds. And right now, Rylan Fascinato is sitting atop the pile, followed by Greg Wood Jr., Dalton McKinney, Wally Babb, and Daniel Miglin. As there are now, we went from having 2 cars on the lead lap to having now 5 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, they definitely got in a tangle there for a little bit and set everybody back, but Ryland's backing his way through the start-finish line here. Looks like Wally Babb took over the lead with Dalton McKinney in second, so.
Absolutely. Looks like Greg, I'm sorry, you were about to say Greg Wood.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like Greg Wood's coming off the pits. And
I'm guessing he's going back down there in the 000 as he just got pasted into the wall.
I imagine we're going to see more of that when it starts ticking down here. I mean, we're 11 laps from 100, and it's basically first one to 100 wins.
Yeah, I have to be honest. For a driver like me, who I'm usually over-aggressive, so on and so forth, this would be my kind of race to win.
Yeah, I think it might be the only hope I have to win. So
last night, our friend Tony Trapasso and I were calling the AARL, and the winner of the Charlotte Roval race last night is a girl who she's only intending to run like 3 or 4 races this season. So she walked away stealing the win from, of course, the AARL regulars, and I just thought that was really interesting.
As you see Wally Babb go to the wall to avoid the guy who was coming out of the pits there. But
I would assume right now Wally Babb is probably hanging his... Is he being pushed? I think he's being pushed.
Yeah, it looks like he's being pushed. Maybe he has the brakes slammed on. Oh. Looks like Dalton just ran him all over.
I'll say he did. My goodness. And yet again, we still... So here's the interesting... here's the new development. There is 1 car on the lead lap. Dalton McKinney.
Yeah, he's on the lead lap for a couple.
Yeah, he has 2... There's 1 car left atop the pile on the lead lap, and it's Dalton McKinney on lap number 93. Ryan Fascinato in P2 is about 2, maybe 2.5 laps behind Dalton McKinney now. So I'm betting without too much of a doubt.
Dalton McKinney has a tire right on his roof.
So here's something interesting, I guess. In order for Rylan Fascinato to get back on the lead lap, he still needs to pass, lap-wise, Dalton McKinney.
It looks like he might have just done it, too.
So your new race leader is Rylan Fascinato, as we are 8 to go here at Nashville Superspeedway on ESPN and Sim Racing Media's Facebook page.
Looks like we have about 7 more laps of chaos and destruction.
Well, 1 car left on the lead lap, and now Dalton McKinney slides down ever so gently. Looks like he is now down only half a lap.
Yeah, Ryland's just going to try and avoid everybody and finish this race. As he just cut down behind Wally Babb there.
Absolutely. 5 to go to. Wow! Fascinato. Now they're asking for black flags to be cleared. Listen here, Charlie. It's a little late for that. As our top 5 running is Ryland Fascinato, Dalton McKinney, Wally Babb, Daniel Miglin, and Greg Wood Jr.
Yeah, and you just saw Brock Whitehead take a concerted effort there to try and take out Ryland and completely missed and took himself out into that wall.
Well, and right now the 69 and the 21 trying to get themselves, of course, the 69 being Ryland Fascinato. Right now, the idea is to keep him from completing these next 4 laps.
He's trying to drive on maybe 2.5 wheels. Oh, looks like he's going to pit. Yep, he can't turn, so Dalton McKinney's going to inherit the lead here shortly.
You know, to be completely honest, you would think that if you're going to be in the lead position at a time like, oh my, looks like Jonathan Leach was trying just to be a real stinker. But it's time.
Yeah, trying to be a robot there.
Absolutely. And it's times like this where you're not really thinking about, you know, can I make it all the way on fuel, because you've just beaten the heck out of it. Oh my, the 31 of Brock Whitehead just bulldozes into the 39. He is not going to make these last 2 laps easy, as it appears Dalton McKinney can't get the car to turn left.
Nope. Missing that left front as Ryland Fascinato takes over the lead again.
Glad to see Ryland fighting his way back up there, as he has gained 16 positions since the beginning of this race. And looks, whoop, and there we go again. Oh my, we're going to have another development here yet.
Yeah, everybody just ran into each other.
Do you think we should tell him now that the white flag has only just flown?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty much over here as soon as Ryland gets around here, but they're definitely having fun crashing each other.
Right now, Ryland is trying to push the 82 down into pit lane, and now takes off.
Ryland's just trying to make it to the finish line so he can finish the race. Oh, looks like he just did it.
Is
Everybody
he there?
lined up
Did he make it?
Looked like it. Looks like he completed 100.01 laps at the end of that. That is insane. Looks like he might have blown up his engine as well.
And that is, well, yeah, well, it's about time. And wow, look at that. I don't think I've ever seen smoke that thick, as we take a look here at that right front wheel. Just throwing off all kinds of sparks here.
Listening onto the driver's radio. Looks like a lot of them had fun anyway. Sounded like they wanted to maybe try it again next week. I don't think that's going to work, but be interesting to see.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Right now, trying to track down Ryland Fascinato.
Yeah, we can. Okay. Still out there crashing each other, having all sorts of fun.
Hey, Ryland, it's Dave Regal and Mike DeMoney up in the ESBN Sim Racing Media broadcast booth. You got a copy, brother?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Look at you. I wouldn't say that you had a Pied Piper kind of effort, as it looks like you're driving the Snap-on Modified right now. But how does it feel to come through all the mayhem and bring home the checkers tonight?
Well, I did not expect that, and that's that's a unique experience. Feels good though.
Would it just be inappropriate for me to ask how the car was handling?
Yeah, I think so. It had no front tires for a bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. You muscled your way through this mess, and things happened exactly when they needed to. So glad to see you here atop the pile, bro. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank for tonight's effort?
All the guys that run the distance motorsports with me Monday nights, and my wife and brother, and anybody else who's watching family-wise.
All right, man. Listen, we appreciate your time. We know that you've got to go celebrate this all-star win, so we appreciate you very much.
Right on. Thanks, man.
And that, of course, was Rylan Fascinato. Let's see if we can get Dalton McKinney up in there.
Hey, Dalton.
Hey,
Mike
how's it
and
going?
Dave in the booth. Not too bad. So, what'd you think of this All-Star race?
Oh, it was a good time. I joked coming into it that I may have an advantage where I haven't ran the league, but one night that I don't have any rivalries. So I guess it must have worked out because Rylan won it and I was able to come home second.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these guys run week in, week out, and finally have a night to settle some grudges, and didn't look like you were a part of it, but it looked like you definitely caused a little bit of mayhem out there. Was that always the plan?
Well, I was running clean at first, and then I started to notice who was trying to wreck, the lead lap cars. So then whenever I'd get back to them, I just try to wreck them before they had a chance to wreck me. So it kind of was a in-race change, I suppose.
Well, it was fun watching. Anybody you want to thank?
Oh, just Chris for letting me come and run it, and you guys for putting the broadcast out, and all the other drivers. I mean, it was a blast. I had a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we'll let you go celebrate your second place finish and continue the mayhem.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
And that was Dalton McKinney. And one more here for the interview booth will be Wally Babb. We can get him moved up. There he is. Wally Babb, Dave Regal in the ESBN broadcast booth. You got a copy, brother?
I got a copy.
Hey, man, listen, bringing home P3, basically 3 laps down. I mean, that's a win. Well, I mean, that's a moral victory, I suppose, right?
Oh yeah, I think I would have had second, and then I just got in another plow, and I couldn't go, and I couldn't even drive my car, steer it. But,
Yeah,
I
I've never seen
congratulate
plow trucks
Rylan.
like this.
Did he tell you it was his birthday today?
No.
Yes, it is his birthday today.
Well, happy birthday, Rylan Fascinato. Happy birthday. Great reward for just being born. Winning.
Exactly. He's gonna kill me for this.
That's all right. We'll rub his nose in it later. It'll be fine. Everybody will go home happy.
Hey,
So,
I do want to say, well, go ahead.
So no, that's fine. Go ahead. What did you want to say, bro?
I was just gonna say, I want to thank TLM, Jeffrey Vickery, the team that I'm on in the Ghost League, and I want to congratulate P1 and P2 because that's my teammates on my Monday Night League, the distance.
Hey, man, listen, it's always nice when teammates can be out here supporting teammates and being friends. And, here's the thing. We may all be separated by distance and computer screens, but we are all joined together to get this race done. And do you have anybody else you'd like to thank before we cut you loose?
I think I covered everything, and my wife for letting me do this.
No problem, brother, man. Listen, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Good talking to you. Can't wait to watch the broadcast.
Well, Mike, we have an all-star race in the books. I don't even want to say another one in the books because we've never done it. So we have one in the books.
Yeah, one.
But it was an absolute thrill to work with you tonight. As of course, sometimes when people don't get a chance to work together very often, it's kind of like watching two dogs talk to each other in the dog park. You're not sure what this other animal's doing or how this person might operate. So you just kind of try to play the away game. Or you bite
Yeah,
someone's head off.
Well, there's always that. But no, it's definitely fun getting to work with you again, and hopefully we can do it again. Definitely fun watching these guys go out and destroy these ARCA cars. Look forward to watching them again next Wednesday when they return to the playoffs at Kentucky.
Absolutely. And your running order tonight goes as follows. Rylan Fascinato brings home the checkered flag, followed by Dalton Mobley in the number 39. Wally Babb in third. Greg Wood Jr. in fourth. Daniel Miglin in fifth. Christopher Tate in sixth. Chris Wheeler in seventh. Ricky Gonzalez in eighth. Jeffrey Vickery and Christian Roos rounding out your top 10.
Then you have Chris Hupka, Cal Gartner, Cliff Corview, Mike Corview, and then Charles Whitehead, Brock Whitehead, and Jonathan Leach.
Absolutely, and a lot of familiar names tonight, but glad to be here with them, with you, and with all of you at home watching, however you may be and wherever you may be listening to us from. We are live, and we are here for every need that you may have.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you want to get your racing fix any night of the week, tune in to the SRM Facebook page or ESBN YouTube page. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification button.
Absolutely. And for Mr. Mike DeMoney and myself, Dave Regal in the ESBN broadcast booth, thank you for joining us tonight as Sim Racing Media hosted us over on Facebook, ESPN, here on YouTube. And just like my partner said, make sure that you subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you can get a heads up every time we go live. And for the ESPN family of racing partners, Sim Racing Media, I'm Dave Regal saying, tomorrow, make sure that you take one moment and enjoy yourself. Good night, everybody.